Ladies and gentlemen, there's been some new information that came out about the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. So let's get to it. So this came out on Wave 3 News. Original date was May 15th, 2020, and then it was updated on May 16th, 2020. Personnel records for the three LMPD police officers involved in the deadly shooting of a woman inside her home show reprimands and commendations. Officer Miles Cosgrove, John Mattingly, and Brett Hankinson served a warrant at the home of Breonna Taylor back in March. The officers and Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who's in jail and really shouldn't be there. These officers made the error by going to the wrong home. Nobody should be jailed because of their F-ups. Engaged in a shooting that killed Taylor, the case has made national headlines in recent days. Now, just so we get this all right, we're going to start with Cosgrove. He joined the police department in 2005 and in 2006 was suspended for his role in a police-involved shooting. Scatterly was sentenced to charges without serving jail time. Well, that's what they do with all cops. They can shoot somebody and they'll walk free like nothing happened. That's the norm in America. The lawsuit was dismissed by a judge and Cosgrove returned to paid administrative leave the following year. Cosgrove received written reprimands in 2008 and 2010 and was suspended again in 2016 for skipping a court hearing. Cosgrove received 10 commendations for various achievements between 2006 and 2016, including 3 in 2015. Mattingly joined the force in 2000. He received a written reprimand in 2018 for failing to file an incident report the previous year. He also received 16 letters of appreciation from 2001 through 2004 and 18 letters of commendation from 2006 to 2017. Mattingly was mentioned in a 2008 case heard by an appellate court. Tobias Jones was stopped by Mattingly in 2006. Court records say Mattingly patted him down and found a stolen gun as well as marijuana. Jones said the officer didn't have reasonable suspicion to stop him, citing Mattingly's experience as a narcotic investigator. The courts found Jones' rights weren't violated and the appeal was denied. Hankinson received 1 letter of appreciation both in 2003 and 2004 and received 44 letters of commendation, including 9 in 2016 and at least 3 last year. Late October, a man named Kendrick Wilson sued Hankinson and LMPD, accusing the officer of excessive use of force, negligence, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and malicious prosecution. Wilson claims he and Hankinson were involved with the same woman. He was involved with now you know why he was messing with this guy. They were involved with the same woman, and Hankinson planted drugs on him during one of the several times he had been arrested by the detective over a 3-year span. Next up, in that case is the pre-discovery disclosures hearing scheduled for Thursday. So he's a little nasty little bastard. He was upset, so he went after the dude that his girlfriend was also seeing. That sounded like some freaky shit there, Hankinson. Okay, back in 2012, Hankinson was named in a police brutality suit along with nearly 20 other LMPD and Jeffersonville police officers. Leon Brackens was getting a ride to a store in Jeffersonville from a woman named Rhonda Ray Sullivan. When the police tried to pull her over, she had several warrants and kept driving, leading police on a chase from Indiana to Louisville. Brackens called 911 from the car begging for help, but the court documents show somehow dispatchers communicated it wrong, saying that he was the suspect, not the driver. Once Sullivan stopped, the police took Brackens down to the ground, injuring him permanently in the process. His family claims he died because of those injuries a year later. It is unclear how Hankinson was involved, but he was among a group of officers dismissed from the case 3 years before the case was thrown out because Jefferson County Commonwealth Attorney Tom Wine is investigating Walker. Wine announced this week he's asking Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate the death of Taylor. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher and LMPD Chief Steve Conrad are calling for a federal investigation. Taylor's family has hired, among others, Ben Crump. Oh, man. Oh, I wish people would stop hiring him in the Black community. A well-known civil rights lawyer who once represented Trayvon Martin's family in the high-profile Stand Your Ground case in Florida several years ago. Crump also is currently representing the family of Ahmaud Arbery, a Black jogger who was shot dead on a Georgia street in February. So these are just 3 dirty ass cops, just like you normally see in America. All right, there is a video here. I'm going to see if it plays.
Narcotics officers who served the search warrant on Breonna Taylor's apartment. A March 13th encounter unfolded into a shootout with Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, where an officer was injured and Taylor was killed. This is Wave 3 News at 11. I'm John Ball.
And I'm Shannon Kogan. What we found, one of those officers was involved in another shooting, and the conduct of 2 have been questioned in lawsuits. As we work to bring you all the information on this complex story, Wave 3 News reporter Caitlin Russ brings us one step further, digging into these officers' histories.
Detective Miles Cosgrove, a 14-year veteran, was the only officer who had shot a suspect, and that man tried to sue. In 2006, Cosgrove saw a car he believed had been involved in a previous chase, so he pulled it over at a gas station. Cosgrove claimed the driver, Andrew Satterley, threw the car in reverse as officers approached, so he fired, hitting Satterley 3 times in the arms.
He said, I got hours. It scared me to death, He said, so I took off because I was being shot at.
Satterley was sentenced to charges without serving jail time. The lawsuit was dismissed by a judge, and Cosgrove returned from paid administration leave the following year. Over his career, Cosgrove has been reprimanded twice for missing court and making unprofessional comments. He's been commended 10 times, including peacefully talking a man down who had been shooting at officers in a standoff. Detective Brett Hankinson, the officer said to have fired from the outside into Breonna's window, has had 3 suits filed against him. One of them is still going on. A federal lawsuit filed last October claims Hankinson had a vendetta against a small business owner named Kendrick Wilson, arresting him several times over 3 years. Wilson says they were involved with the same woman and accuses the detective of planting drugs on him. A hearing for this suit is set for Thursday. Back in 2012, Hankison was named in a police brutality suit along with nearly 20 other LMPD and Jeffersonville officers. Leon Brackens was a passenger in a car driven by a woman with several warrants who led police on a chase from Indiana into Louisville. Brackens called 911 from the car begging for help.
I can't get out. She's going to kill me. Please, help.
But somehow dispatchers communicated it wrong, that he was the suspect, not the driver. Once stopped, police took Brackens down to the ground, injuring him permanently in the process. His family claims he died because of those injuries a year later.
Before Leon died, he said, I want to see some type of justice for what these people did to me.
It's unclear how Hankison was involved, but he was among a group of officers dismissed from the case 3 years before the whole thing was thrown out. In his 17 years, Hankison has been commended 46 times and awarded for merit, saving a lost injured child and talking a 15-year-old out of suicide. He and Sergeant John Mattingly have only been reprimanded once for minor issues. Mattingly was shot in the thigh that night by Walker. He's been commended 34 times in his 19 years on the force, mainly for getting a lot of guns and drugs off the street. Reporting in Louisville, Caitlin Rust, Wave 3 News.
Okay. So these are 3 rotten-ass cops. You know, what else can you say? You know, they're just like any other corrupt officer that you see in America. They fit the profile of a corrupt officer, all 3 of them. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.